Hey there YouTube, this is SGM4306 back with another video. This time we're taking a look at a new product from MT-Viki. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And this is sort of an interesting one. At first glance, I kind of didn't see the point of it, but now that I've used it, I absolutely see the point of it. So this is a USB to dual HDMI adapter, and you might be thinking, well, why do you need to convert USB to HDMI? Like every computer has, a DVI or an HDMI port that you just plug directly into the monitor. Well, there are certain cases where this is very useful. For example, so I have a decently high-end smartphone, and this does USB-C, what is it called? Video over DisplayPort or something. So I can plug this directly into like one of these portable monitors and it'll output video just fine. This phone costs like almost $2,000. So I'm just gonna throw that to the side. I have this cheap tablet. I think I spent, this was probably like 150, maybe 200. And it is a low to mid-range tablet. And this is so old that I think this may have predated the video over DisplayPort standard. So it doesn't have DeX. It doesn't even output regular video over the USB-C connector. There's no way of getting video out of this other than smart casting, which is wireless. And not all monitors have that built in, and you would have to buy a separate dongle anyway. By the way, this guy, I forget the cost off the top of my head. I think this was only like 30-ish bucks, so not super expensive. And it has 3 ports, a USB-C input and then 2 HDMI ports. One is labeled 1080p, the other is 4K. And it's in this like nice metal enclosure. It's like very well built. The company does seem like it's maybe a slightly smaller company. And there is one catch to this though. So say you have even a computer, a desktop computer, and you don't have enough video ports. Say you want to run like 4 monitors and you only have 2 ports, 2 video output ports. You could actually plug this into USB and then it'll give you another 2 extra monitors that you can do whatever you want with, as long as your software, Windows or Mac or whatever, is capable of generating that many video signals, it'll work. You will have to install drivers. So this is not like a standard built-in feature of the OS. I believe what it's actually doing is creating a virtual frame buffer, and then it must have like a proprietary protocol to bang that out through USB. And so that's how that works. So you will need to install an application on the device that you want to output video. They have separate Windows and Mac applications, as well as Android, and I believe they have iOS. In their little manual thing, they have a QR code that you can download them from. I will say, I think the reason why I think this is a smaller company, that link goes to like a kind of slightly sketchy looking like Google Drive, where it's just like a bunch of zip folders for all of the apps that you have to install for your specific OS. It looked a little sketch. I tried it in like a sandboxed virtual PC and it worked. So I scanned everything. Nothing ended up being suspicious. So it just looks a little bit but it worked out in the end. So I installed this onto this tablet as well as my desktop. Works just fine on Windows. I had no issues with that. And like I said, this can go up to 4K on the top HDMI port there. And you will need, though, it comes with a USB 3 cable, because for 4K, you obviously need the bandwidth of USB 3. However, this tablet is limited to USB 2.0. This doesn't even have the the internal pins for a USB 3.0, so it doesn't do the bandwidth. So I wanted to test to see if this would work at all, or if it does like weird frame rate issues or something. I don't know. So I have this portable monitor, USB for power to it. This is a mini HDMI, and that's plugged straight into this adapter. So it's a bit of a rat's nest, but I wanted to see if this will actually work. So monitor is just going to come on the power bank I'm using to charge it. It should, yeah, there you go. No signal. Okay, so the app is called SMI, and it's set to automatically come up when you plug it in. The first time I did, gave me like a little thing saying like, do you want me to open every time you plug in a USB device, whatever. So I said okay, and it snapped. like bam, instantly. All I had to do is click like start smart casting, and there it is mirrored as far as I can tell. Like there is some latency clearly, but like this is way better than the latency from wireless. So having a hard wired connection is better. For some strange reason, the aspect ratio, I think it's the monitor doing this. The scaling on the aspect ratio is slightly wrong. This is a 16:9 display, so this is a 16:9 panel. It should go corner to corner, but it's inserting black bars. I don't know if that's the converter or this monitor is internally scaling. I can go into settings here and I should be able to see. Yeah, it is saying it's a 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz. So I don't know which side of this conversion process is misscaling it, but it is. Anyway, there you go. This tablet has absolutely no way of normally outputting video through the USB-C connector, and yet it is. And here you can see you can manually connect and disconnect, and it says you don't need to start the app manually. I think only the first time you do have to like give it permissions or whatever. And after that, as soon as I plug that cable in, it just turns on and starts outputting the video after I say, start recording or whatever. This must be acting kind of like a screen grabber. So it's sort of like it's recording video that is on the screen of the tablet itself, and then packetizing it, sending it, and then converting it to HDMI and then outputting it. But yeah, this works pretty well. There is like a very slight latency, but you could probably get some gaming on this if you wanted. I have a feeling this specific converter is more marketed towards like business kind of stuff. If you want to use this for like giving presentations, I guess, or something, or you need many monitors and your computer, you don't want to keep adding GPUs to just get more video outputs. This would be way cheaper than a GPU probably. And it gives you 2 extra outputs per USB 3.0 connector. I'm kind of interested to know though, if I got more of these, can I like hub them up and then get like 6, 8, 10 monitor outputs? Or I'm sure there's like a software limit. Find one of my videos and see what the, it says it's supposed to be 60 hertz. So let's just see. There we go. I can just start up one of my recent videos. And obviously I have audio. Okay, apparently it won't play through the speaker for some reason, but whatever. It is playing the video, and just get like a zoomed out. That looks, between the 2 monitors, like very closely synced, if not almost instantaneous. So yeah, this absolutely will come in handy in my toolkit, because I'm sure I'm going to run into this situation eventually where I want to have something on my tablet projected to a bigger screen, and I don't want to buy a new tablet. To get a Samsung tablet that does DeX and all that, like you could just go out and buy one, but they're like, 3-4 times the cost of this tablet. This one I got super cheap. It's not like, it's a pretty low-end tablet. But yeah, now I'm able to actually output video over the USB-C. That was the one big thing that I kind of hated about this tablet, is it had no way of doing that before now. So this MT-Viki device works perfectly. It doesn't even get warm or anything. It works like pretty much instantaneously as soon as you plug it in. You can see here I can unplug it. Video stopped, obviously. And just replug it in. And might take like a second. Yeah, it automatically starts, but you do have to click start now to start casting. And there you go. Just like that. That was actually very easy. Very easy to set up, very easy to use. It's got wires, obviously, you're going to have to deal with. This is a portable monitor, so it doesn't have its own power supply, so I have to run a separate wire just for a power bank to run it. But yeah, this is absolutely usable. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick demo. This will work exactly like this for the Windows side as well. I guess I can take you over to my desktop computer real quick and show you guys. For Windows, it acts just like a second monitor. You can extend, you can mirror, you can do everything that you can do with like a regular HDMI monitor with this, with the only difference really being it's run over a USB-C connector, but you do have to install the app for it to actually work. So let me, I guess, prop this up and hook this up to my desktop and show you guys that, yeah, it works just equally as well with Windows. Okay, so here I'm on my desktop, and you do have to run this little software called SMI USB Display, SW. And you have to give it permission, and I already installed it, which is why it says uninstall instead of install. You go through this, it'll automatically install, and then once it's installed, all you got to do is you just need a USB port. So it's plugged in, it's just sort of hanging there, and it might take a second for it to be recognized, but okay, yeah, Windows is having a bit of a fit right now for some reason. But yeah, it works. I'm extending my monitor, so here you can see this is actually a secondary monitor. So if I go over here, go to display settings, and in display properties, you can see it's coming up as a secondary monitor. And we can change the resolution to 1080. For some reason, it was slightly less. It was doing like 900p or something. I don't know why. The issues, generally speaking, Windows has some weird like display driver issues sometimes, so it'll choose like weird settings when you first plug in a monitor. Anywho, I have them extending. I could have it duplicate, but it doesn't really matter. And yeah, so you can see my internal monitor here is actually slightly lower resolution. It's only yeah, by 1050 for some reason. I have no idea why. I guess the panel itself is just slightly smaller. But yeah, this works a treat. And I can just go over and yeah, like fire up Steam or something and drag the window over here. And yeah, I could absolutely use this just as a second monitor. And there's like no latency, because I am using a USB 3 port on here. So like on my tablet, it was reverting to USB 2.0 because my tablet, the USB connector on the bottom is only capable of 2.0. But because I'm plugged into a desktop, I can take advantage of USB 3. And there's basically no latency. It's like instantaneous when I scroll. But yeah, that this works actually fantastically. And just exit out there and yeah, drag this over here. Yeah, so this is actually a super easy way. You do have to install a driver, which is understandable. I know why they have to do that. So using the USB output as a video output isn't like a standard thing in any OS pretty much. Unless if the USB port has like video over DisplayPort alt mode, but not all devices do. So this actually bridges that gap. It gives you that ability from a standard computer, even like a cheap lower end hardware, to give you 2 extra monitors. That's really cool. So yeah, and this would also be like super easy to set up like with a dockable kind of situation where you only plug in one connection on your laptop. You don't have to plug in power and HDMI, and not all laptops even have HDMI anymore. So yeah, I can definitely see this being super useful in the future. I'm kind of interested though. It's a metal case with screws. Let's pop this open. Okay, so it's 2 Phillips screws, and they're like pretty short screws. Excuse the handheld recording nature of this. But yeah, it's just 2 screws and an end plate. And the whole thing's already starting to come apart. Looks like it was just sort of glued. There's like double stick tape holding the front panel on, I guess temporarily before it's screwed into place. And the whole thing just slides out. This is a single board computer, basically. I'm kind of interested. I bet you there has to be a flash chip. Yeah. So I just focus in on this. Yeah, it looks like there's a serial flash chip, a SoC, we got some RAM chips, and an HDMI controller chip, which is going to be this guy. This is all power supply kind of stuff. There's like a switching regulator there. And on the bottom, there's like 2 more switching regulators. So this needs a couple, actually 3 more. This probably needs like several different voltages to work properly. So that's why there's so many switching converters. But yeah, if you guys are interested, it looks like they have their own custom SM768G, their SoC that's running this entire show. And we have 2 RAM chips, and they look like they're identical. And if you are interested, those are the model numbers. And yeah, that's basically it. The HDMI chip is upside down. All the electrons are going to fall out. There you go. It is Macro Silicon branded, apparently. And yeah, there's really not that much in this. It would actually be really interesting if you could like reprogram this to do other stuff, like run Linux. Actually, this is, very realistically speaking, this is probably already running Linux. They probably just have a software layer that that reads their proprietary packet format and then just converts it to HDMI. And that's probably exactly what this is doing, though it boots up very fast. Like, it takes maybe like 5 seconds from plugging in to start outputting, like to initialize a connection, start outputting video. So yeah, this is actually really cool. And I'm definitely going to be using this in the future for different boards, for different like kind of tiny little computers that I need to output video, but I don't have access to a video output port, or maybe it's like headless mode or something. Anywho, one thing that I think is missing, so it supports iOS, Mac, Android, and Windows. I don't think there are any Linux drivers. Hopefully, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would like to see Linux support, because this would be cool using on like headless units and whatnot, where I don't physically have access to anything but USB ports. Yeah, I think that would be cool, just to round it out and make this work universally with everything, basically. Yeah, overall, this is not something that everyone would need to have. If you do like a lot of tech stuff like I do, then yeah, having one of these, it's not super expensive. It's actually very useful to have in very niche situations. Or if you just have like a cheaper Android phone or tablet that you want to cast video out of it, but it doesn't have it enabled in software, like maybe the OS is too old or the hardware is too limited, so the manufacturer never enabled video out, this will get you there 100%. Yeah, so anyway, huge thanks to MT-Viki for sending this guy in for, I guess, review. This was actually unexpectedly kind of a neat thing to play around with, and it will be something that's going into my my tech bag of stuff that I carry around just in case I need one day out in the field. This seems to be something that will eventually come very handy in use for very specific situations. Anywho, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.